So I'm currently in a high mileage, it is quite high mileage this car, Range Rover Velar R-Dynamic D300S, and this is my favourite purchase of the week. Oh no, oh no. So, a Range Rover Velar D300S, is that what it is? Let's look at the badge on the back. Proper, like, ain't got a clue what I'm talking about here. D300S Velar. These have been out, I think, since 2017, and this come in as a part exchange against the F80 M3, the San Marino blue one, that we done as purchase of the week a few weeks ago. I think we had that, then the week after we had the E90 M3. The week after that we had the M1355 Planet Dreams, and then this week is the Range Rover Velar. So when these cars first come out, I remember thinking, first things first, the name Velar, what a bloody cool name that is. I think they branded this car perfectly. And I'm pretty sure when they first come out, the first person I ever knew that got one was Yanni from Yanimais. I remember thinking, that's a wicked car, he'd done his usual stuff, wrapped it, made it look cool, and then he moved on to his next car in about 5 minutes, which is pretty standard stuff with Yanni. So this car here, safe bet, grey, black roof, black leather. I say I daily drive. My missus daily drives a 3-litre diesel Range Rover Sport in black, 2018 plate car. This is a 2017, I think. So this is one of the earlier Velars, and I'm curious to see how it compares to that. So it sort of sits between between an Evoque, I would say, and a Sport. It's called a crossover SUV. I've never actually driven one. I've never had one as a bit of stock. I'm not too clued up on them. But the Range Rover, or should we say Land Rover brand, whenever I post a video on a Land Rover, it generally gets quite good views. It's very controversial. As much as people love to slag them off and talk like they hate them, people do also love them and love what they offer. So I don't know what I suppose it was quite a brave thing, I would say, that Land Rover offered the Discovery Sport, because they dropped the Freelander and created the Discovery Sport, and then they made this. Are they not quite competing cars? But they did, and it's good. So first things first, let's talk about the visuals of this car. I think it looks proper cool. I think they're a really good looking car. In fact, me and Amar were just talking. Amar, this is your kind of car, isn't it? Definitely. Amar's just had a baby. He's looking for like a family car. He doesn't want to break the bank, which is standard stuff with all of us. And he was just doing the shots on this. You like it, didn't you? Yeah. This is your kind of car. Would you get a Q5, Amar, or a Range Rover Velar?
I would definitely get this.
Would you?
Yeah.
You'd go for non-German?
How much does one tyre cost? Because something like that scares me like quite a lot.
How much is what, sorry?
One tyre.
One tyre, that's a good point. Should we put a price? Luckily the tyres on this are really good. It looks like it's got Goodyear Eagle F1s on it. I think the tyre cost on a Q5 or a Land Rover, they're probably similar size wheels. They're both going to be pretty expensive, but that is a good point. We'll put the tyre price on the screen specifically for people that think like Amar. There you go. I think that's a valuable point. So yeah, visually, I love these little bronze touches, by the way. I love it that they've done that. Like black grills, yeah. So it's quite a sporty looking thing, which is probably more sporty than the Discovery Sport, I would say. Black wheels, I love these door handles, which didn't take me long to work out at all, because it's actually got keyless entry, so when you press that button there, the handles pop out, yeah? And then you've got access to your door. If they broke, because that's what people will comment on, wouldn't want to pay for one of them to be repaired, because they break all the time. Who cares if they break, yeah? If they do, who actually owns one of these cars? Have you ever had any issues with your door handles? Let's satisfy the curiosity of the comment section. But I love them door handles. I love the interior. This is my first time sitting in this car. It's very cramped on the passenger side. Electric seats. I don't think my missus, her Evoque that she had didn't have electric seats. It was just manually operated backwards and forwards. But this has got electric seats. It's got Meridian sound. Do you know what? Let's talk about spec. Let's pull up the spec sheet, yeah? We are going to go for driving this shortly as well. We're going to do the Draggy leaderboard. It's a 3-litre twin turbo. I'm pretty sure it's a twin turbo diesel V6 producing 300 brake horsepower and about 600 odd pounds-feet of torque. No, not pounds-feet, Newton meters of torque. So it's going to be quick, I reckon, and we'll see how quick it is compared to all of the cars on the leaderboard shortly, all right? So, here we go then. So this car was £56,185 new. It had 4,650 quid worth of options, and it's got a 3 out of 5 stars on the options list. If we open up the options list, one at the top there is 1,140 quid. That is the 4-corner electronic air suspension. I would assume that there's probably a button there controlling the air suspension. We'll have a little look at that shortly. Option number 2 is inside here, which is my favourite option on every single car on the planet. Let's just bring that seat back a little bit. By the way, this must be an R dynamic. I should really done my research on that before I've done this video, because it's got R dynamic on the dash there, and it's also got it in the door shuts. But yeah, option number 2, £1,115 for the fixed panoramic roof. Check that out. I've got to get the ignition on, haven't I? Should we start the engine? Ready? 3, 2, 1. Beast. Oh, look at that. The blind's going back. So it is a fixed glass roof, not an opening roof. So you've got the blind, you've got the pleasure or the privilege of having the sun coming through, but you can't actually open it, so you can't let no air in. But if you wish, you can close the blinds and get the benefits of shutting out any annoying sunlight in the summer. I like that. Next up, we've got metallic paint. I mentioned the colour of the paint earlier. I really like the colour of the car. That there was £725. That looks like a standard colour option to me, but it wasn't, and it was quite a lot of money. Black contrast roof, not with Narvik black or Santorini black, apparently. 570 quid. I think that was £570 well spent. I think it breaks up the contrast of the car really well. I think, yeah, looks really good. Interactive driver display. Again, any Velar owners out there, please enlighten me on what that is. I could Google it, but I'm going to let you lot do the talking in the comment section. Either way, that there was £520. Privacy glass, £390. That isn't, I would say, you've got the roof, yeah, you've got the black roof, you've got the black wheels, you need to do that. That should come as part of the black roof pack, I think, but it didn't. They wanted another 390 quid, which, to be fair, it would cost you in that region if you was to go get it done at your local tinting shop. So, next one. Back inside, heated steering wheel, there we go. That there was £190, and honestly, the first time I drove a car with heated steering wheel, can't remember what it was, I think it was an old Jag. I remember thinking, this is a bit over the top, but once you start getting used to using a heated steering wheel, especially as we enter the winter time here in the UK, it's actually something that you'll begin to enjoy using. And when you ain't got it, you'll miss it. Then at the bottom there we've got a couple of free options. It mentions the metallic paint again, which was, I don't understand why that's on there as a free option. And also no roof rails, so it's essentially got a roof rail delete. And that was a free option to remove your roof rails. Maybe that come as part of the fact that it's got a panoramic roof. No idea. So I think what we're going to do now is we're going to jump inside. I'm going to do a car vertical check, because I've got to do a car vertical check. Thank you very much to Car Vertical for sponsoring this video. I will link them in the description below. We're going to go through all the background history on this car with one of their checks. We're also going to look at values of these cars, because I think that's quite an interesting point with these cars as well. And then we're going to hit the road, check out the bumpy road, and do draggy times to see how quickly it does 20 to 70 miles an hour. Let's jump in. That's it. So we are in on the interior of the R Dynamic Range Rover Velar. So I didn't mention the mileage actually, which I think is another important fact with this video. It's on 81,165 miles. You can see a little tiny bit of wear on the steering wheel. I think that's worth pointing out, because anyone looking at one of these will probably be curious to know how well it's worn in 80 odd thousand miles. Should we just get the music back on? Open the door, look at the seat. And then on the bolster of the driver's seat, that is not worn bad at all. In fact, that's looking mint, mate. Let's jump back in. But what I do like about the seat is it's like a mixture of materials. It's got a bit of sort of Alcantara. It's also got a bit of leather, perforated leather. Has it got smooth leather as well? No, just all perforated. And it's got white stitching as well. By the way, I've got my hashtag on it hoodie on today. I've got a hashtag on it t-shirt on underneath as well, but it is a bit chilly today. So I've threw the hoodie on. It's got the design on the back. I don't know, you might have seen that. That is available to buy if you want to treat yourself at calvinscardiary.com. All of the money spent on Calvin's Car Diary goes back into the channel, just like it does with Planet Dreams as well. And it enables us to buy stuff to give back to you lot, and gives us loads to film as well, right? So your way of supporting the channel, and also your way of keeping warm in style in the winter, all right? So whilst we're on the inside, before I hit the start button again, I do want to point out that this is all very nice. And going back to the exterior sort of design of the car, the little black front splitter, I like that, and I like the little black rear spoiler as well, and also the black trim on the rear of the car. And by the way, something worth mentioning, which is something that I think most people buying this car would want to know, is firstly, how big is the boot? And I've just done a little clip of me opening the boot. It is an auto opening boot, which I would assume comes as standard. on these because it's not on the option list. Maybe it just comes standard on the R-Dynamic. But you can see the boots are decent size, and also leg room in the back. Now I'm about 6 foot, I don't actually know how tall I am. I'm about 6'2", and you can see me sat in the back seat there behind the passenger, and you can see as well the passenger seat has got plenty of leg room as well. So this is all stuff that I'm really familiar with because, like I say, I get great daily use out of a Range Rover Sport. The steering column is adjusted via this switch here, which I think is a bit rubbish, to be honest with you. I feel like that should be electric, but they've bypassed on the expensive option there and gone with the cheaper method of moving your steering wheel. Let me just turn that volume down, can't have that interfering. But it does the job, and once you've adjusted it, you don't need to move it again. Electric seats, just give myself a bit more leg room. I love the little R-Dynamic badges here, there and everywhere. I think that's a really nice touch. I love this dash finish as well. I mentioned that earlier, I think, and the gloss black finishes as well here, there and everywhere on the inside. In fact, that might be like a brushed satin, I don't know, that's nice. It's all very nice. Meridian sound, I don't know if I mentioned that already. What else have we got? 2 cup holders. I think that's something that I would want if I'm this type of car. It's a comfortable car. I want to know what luxuries it's got. I think if I was buying a sort of a comfortable daily driver, which by the way, I love comfortable daily drivers. Don't get me wrong, I'm a petrol head and I love a sports car, but comfortable daily driving cars are something that we all should appreciate and all deserve to have at some point in our lives. So stuff I would want if I was buying this type of car is, I suppose, a centre armrest is a bit vital. It's got a nice big chunky centre armrest. I would also feel like I'd want a reverse camera. I think that's a little bit of a must. I could tolerate not have one, but this one has a reverse camera, which is cool. What else would I want to see? I'd want to see heated seats. I don't think this car has heated seats, or am I just getting this wrong? But I have just noticed that the height adjustable suspension is adjusted on the right hand side here of the screen, which is really nice. And then obvious things like DAB radio, Bluetooth phone, but that's all standard stuff nowadays, isn't it? So let's quickly pull up the car vertical check before we jump onto values. Again, I'm going to remind you, Car Vertical have sponsored this video. Again, I want to encourage you to use them to do your checks for 2 reasons. One, because it's good for you and it gives you good history about the car that you're about to buy or the car that you currently own. And 2, it's just a great way of supporting the channel. So also use my code CCD to get a discount on your car check. So if we have a little look at the check on this car, Car Vertical is going to show you the chassis number, everything you need to know. It's actually a 2018 car. I think it was a 2017 earlier. So you can see there, it's all green ticks. It's not been stolen before, which is brilliant. The mileage is all good. It's got no finance on it, and it's got no damage on it either, no previous damage. So there's a little bit of information there generated by AI about Land Rover, Range Rover Velars, not been stolen, which we just mentioned, and then you've got a consistent line to show the mileage is all good as well. You can also see history of the car, like the previous MOTs and stuff like that, and there's just loads of information within this check. It does also show valuations, but we use CAP and Auto Trader on our own platform, which I'm going to show you shortly. But it's got a bit more details about the car there as well. 3-litre diesel. It's got the whole timeline of this specific car, this actual car, from the day it was new back in August 2017. So it is an August 2017 car. Okay, so it's got it all there. You can click show more and it will just tell you everything. The plate that's currently on this car is actually a private reg. It's going to be coming off and it's going to be going back to its GV17 ZNY reg. And I will show you an example of a crashed Range Rover Velar. And Car Vertical would have picked up the information on that accident within their platform. So it's, again, it doesn't necessarily mean that car's categorized, but it could mean that it's been through an accident, been taken off the road, gone through a salvage auction, but never been declared as a crash damaged car. So it's a good way just to double check that the car you're buying is all good, all right? Going back to valuations. So this is on my platform that we built ourselves as a family. It's called enterreg.com. It's a car trade only platform. I know I say this a lot in my videos, but in case this video does attract any new viewers, this is a car trade only platform. If you're a car dealer, you need to get on board. It's brilliant. It's a valuation system, a website platform, a stock management system, all in one. And you can see here we use CAP at the top there, which is powered by Experian. The trade values of this car are in the region of sort of 22 to 24,000 pounds, and the retail value according to CAP there is 27,000 pounds. If you scroll down at Auto Trader, the Auto Trader retail value is actually 29,000 pounds, and we've got it advertised sort of in that region as well. All right. So also on our website, binkerretail.com, you can get a good idea of how much this car would cost you each month. So if you want to get this car on finance, you can put in your deposit, what your credit rating's like. There's no credit checks either. I'll give you a rough idea what a car like this would cost you on a monthly basis, all right? So I'll link Binker Retail in the description below as well. I think what we'll do is we'll hit the roads, yeah? I want to see how quickly this does 20 to 70 mile an hour. I feel like, let's see what other cars we've done. So looking at the Dragger leaderboard, what have we got? VW Touareg V10 diesel, that's 305 horsepower. That done it in 6.79 seconds. That would obviously be a heavier car, it's older. This gearbox is probably a bit quicker than that. That would be quite a good comparable. So 6.79, I don't think it'll be as quick as that though, surely not. Downwards from that, have we got any other diesels? A Maserati Ghibli V6 diesel, 270 brake horsepower. Let's aim to beat the Maserati. If this beats the Maserati, I think that's quite a good claim to fame. That done it in 6.85 seconds, all right? Let's hit the roads. Right, so we are turning left onto Galley Lane, which is where our little route is for videos. We'll let this van just head off up the road. We'll slow right down. Do a quick hashtag key check. There we go. It is just the usual Range Rover key, by the way, Land Rover key. I didn't do that. I usually do that at the beginning section of the video, but I forgot to do that today. But I think it's always worth pointing that out because I think a key is such an important thing. Something else I want to say is, I was talking about heated seats earlier and I couldn't work out how to turn the heated seats on, which I should be able to work out how to turn the heated seats on because I should be super familiar with all this setup. But on my Mrs. Range Rover Sport, you press the right button there and that enables you to put adjust the heated seat. Whereas on this car, you can only do it on the left one, but you can do it via the seats button. If you press the seats button, by the way, this is all touchscreen, it's really nice to use. A little bit distracting when you're driving because you can't feel buttons and such, but that's a bit of a silly criticism. And then you can adjust the heated seat via this toggle here, which is all very, very nice. All right, so it does have heated seats, and put that back to vehicle. This toggle here on the right, by the way, is the drive select button, which you can flick through all the different driver modes. It's got eco, comfort, gravel, mud, and then I've currently got it in dynamic. So if we select dynamic, then we're currently on the dynamic program selected. There we go. So let's give it some throttle, have a little feel for the power. It's a very, very windy day today, by the way. Is that mic's not on, is it? Mic ain't on. That's it, the mic is now on. I've got this mic, we switched mics there because these new mics are a bit you know, I can't blame the mics. It's my fault. I didn't switch them on, but luckily we had audio from the GoPro for the beginning section of the drive there. So yeah, have a little feel for the power. One thing I would say is this car actually feels heavier than a Range Rover Sport, which is weird because a Range Rover Sport is about 300 kilograms heavier than this. I think this is about 1,750 kilos, and that's about sort of 2,100 to just over 2 tons in weight. So I don't know, it could be due to the big tyres. It's got quite chunky tyres on this car, whereas on our Range Rover Sport, it's got quite lowish profile tyres in comparison. So we're currently on the bumpy road in dynamic mode, and it seems to be pretty good. It's quite, I suppose you'd expect it would be pretty good. It's floating over the bumps nicely, which is cool. And something I would say about the Velar is where it fits in so well in my mind, snap on lorry there, is when my missus had a Range Rover Evoque, I wasn't that keen to do. I mean, it was a great car, don't get me wrong, and it actually never went wrong on us, which everyone's like, God, they're rubbish cars, don't buy one of them. Bought one, I actually bought it from Land Rover to ensure that I got a good Land Rover warranty. That's me being a car dealer, by the way. And yeah, it was a good car. But I didn't really like driving that car. But she absolutely loved it. So for her, it suited her perfectly, which was brilliant because it was her car to daily drive. Then since she got the Range Rover Sport, I'm like, yeah, do you know what? I can see myself driving this, and I actually love driving it. But then I look at her sometimes driving it, I think, is she a bit small for a big Range Rover? But she loves the car, by the way. She loves a big black Range Rover. So, but where this car fits in perfectly, the point I'm trying to get to, is this covers everyone. I think there's so many people that would absolutely love to daily drive this car, whether you're sort of male or female, a family person, or just a cool young drug dealer, whatever you are. I think lots of people would love to. I just talked about a drug dealer like it was cool. It's not cool to be a drug dealer. I'm just visualising like a little road man in a Range Rover Velar, and I think he'd enjoy it. And likewise, I'd feel like a family man, stroke family woman, stroke dog owner, stroke family with lots of children would also love it as well. And I think what's also quite cool is if you want to do 20 to 70 mile an hour draggy times, you might actually beat a Maserati because it does it in 6.85 seconds, which we're going to find out any second now. All right, so let's cut to the draggy time section of the video because I'm just waffling on about how wonderful I think this. Look at that. Look, oh, it's boosting, mate. Boosting. Oh, by the way, it's got little red touches on the dials, which I quite like, only when in dynamic mode. So yeah, let's just quickly cut to the draggy time section of the video to see how quickly it does 20 to 70 mile an hour and see if we can beat the Maserati, yeah? Right, ready? 3, 2, 1, floor it, cow. Boosting. Absolutely flying in our Range Rover Velar. Oh, dynamic. D300S. 20 to 70 mile an hour in. Oh no. Oh no. Basically, we didn't beat the Maserati, guys, but this is as a standard thing on this channel, we're going to do 3 runs, right? I'm going to do the other 2 runs off camera and hope that we beat the Maserati, but it's not looking likely. It's not looking likely at all, right? But I'll come back to you shortly and let you know how quickly we've done 20 to 70 mile an hour, right? So, what is the conclusion? The conclusion is, as you could tell from my reaction to my first run, we are not anywhere near as quick as the Maserati, annoyingly. It would have been good, but maybe I was being a bit optimistic. The quickest run we've done, 20 to 70 mile an hour in, was 7.26 seconds verified, all right, which is a good time. It's a pretty good time. I suppose this car isn't, it's not aimed at being a big high sports performance car. It's just a daily drive. It's comfortable. It's for your family. Yeah, it's a chilled sort of car. But if you look at the draggy leaderboards, it basically sits between a Nissan Leaf, which, electric cars are actually quite quick, but it's still a bit annoying that it's sitting next to that. And also just above that, it's the Audi A5, the one that we gave away on Planet of Dreams after we had it tuned, I think. So it's about 225 horsepower at that point. So it sits between them 2 cars. It's quicker than a Civic Type R, quicker than a Honda S2000, which are, of course, manual gearbox cars. So it's not all bad. But like I said, what this car offers is it's just a cool family car. That's exactly what it is. I think it does a good job of that. If you look at the retail values as well today, the way this car's depreciated, considering it's a high mileage car, the new price, the list price there, we saw at the beginning of the video, was £60,000, and today the retail value's in the region of £30,000. So it's dropped by about 50% in 5 years, 6 years, which I think is really good. And the only way a car depreciates at a slow rate is because it's in demand, and I would say these cars are definitely in demand. I think that's everything. I'm pleased with it, man. I'm gonna head back to work now, grab some lunch, go do some more deals hopefully, but make sure you put back next Sunday to see what my favourite purchase of the week is. Next Sunday, I know it's a Jaguar, it's an F-Pace. Is that the same car as this? No, I reckon that's an Evoque, isn't it? I think the E-Pace is the same chassis as this. I'm gonna be back next Sunday with my favourite purchase of the week. Also, if you're new here, I actually upload a video every Wednesday and Sunday at 6 o'clock. And I'll link Planet of Dreams in the description below if you want to be in for a chance of winning some wonderful stuff for free. It does include cars. I go live on the Planet of Dreams Instagram every single Friday at midday, announcing winners of prizes. But then prizes are only available to people that are subscribed to my channel. So make sure you hit subscribe. Make sure you hit like as well if you like this video. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.